Hey, each time a staff person goes on sabbatical, I like to use this space to remind all of us what a sabbatical is. So I'll explain why we do them and what it'll look like at MCC while someone is on sabbatical. You know, our elders have given our staff the gift of a sabbatical at the completion of every 7th year of ministry. And as May ends this year, I complete my 42nd year in ministry. Now, I've said this before, but I'm thankful for how our leadership cares for our staff. And I would never say that ministry is more difficult than other jobs, but I will say that we rarely set it down. And over time, that wears on you. So one way we value MCC is by caring well for those who lead here. And as I complete my final preparations for my time away, I'm just going to use this space to remind some, inform others about a sabbatical. So here are some frequently asked questions. First, what is a sabbatical? Great question. The word sabbatical comes from the Hebrew word Shabbat, as we know it, Sabbath. And a Sabbath is based on God's design for a Sabbath. It's a time for rest and to reflect, to be renewed, to be refilled. The biblical precedent and Christian tradition is for pastors to go on a sabbatical, again, once every 7 years. All right, so what are the goals of a sabbatical? A sabbatical leave is a carefully planned period of time in which the pastor is granted leave away from his or her normal responsibilities so that they can spend an extended period of time in rest and renewal and refreshment. So sabbatical leave is a time for our pastors to shift gears, to rest and disengage and study and reflect and spend time with our families so that we can return to ministry refreshed and renewed in body, mind, and spirit. And it's a time for MCC to examine and explore new ways to serve and grow and contribute and maybe step up into leadership. Hey, the sabbatical time has 4 purposes: release and relinquish. During my sabbatical, I will disengage from all ministry and leadership responsibilities, also rest and recovery. I'll concentrate on what restores me emotionally and feeds me spiritually. I've already begun to collect books and make appointments with people that will help remind me just to stop and listen to God. Helps me to reflect and focus. I'm going to be listening for what God might be saying to me, scheduling extended time alone with Him. And fourth, there's realignment or reassignment, asking God, what changes in my life and ministry would you like me to make as a result of hearing from you? Now, next week, I'll share what you can do that will be helpful during my sabbatical. I'm going to be on sabbatical from June 30th to August 17th. Okay? Hey, as we get ready for this Sunday, our school social worker here in Miamisburg recently told me, I'm always blown away with how our community jumps in to serve each other, but the fact that many did it without us coming to them just shows how we truly love one another in times of need. And I'll share why she said that this weekend. And the reason it's important is that this is what it looks like when the church is actually living out the gospel. Now, the books that follow the 4 gospels are all about that. The gospels tell us about Jesus, the book of Acts tells us about what happens next, and the books that follow Acts are all about what faith looks like when it's lived out in the culture in which you find yourself. So the Gospels tell us why, and what follows tells us how to live as disciples of Jesus. So this weekend, I get to kick off the series on the book of Romans, which is one of the longest, most significant things ever written by Paul. And we're going to sit in this for a while, 16 weeks. This Sunday, I will begin with the verse 17 verses of chapter 1. So heads up, I'm going to ask you to memorize Romans 1:16, which says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it's the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile." Cool. Another heads up, we have a Romans reading plan available if you'd like to read and reflect and determine how to apply what God is saying to us. We'll have hard copies in our lobby, and we have an electronic copy that you can connect to in my email. One more heads up. We partner with Planting Seeds, who helps provide people in our area with household goods. But Danny will tell you that he isn't really delivering furniture. He's actually taking Jesus to people. Jesus just happens to arrive on furniture. You know, part of every delivery is giving each family a Bible that has a note inside. And this Sunday, you'll have the chance to write a note in a Bible that will go to a family right here in the Miami Valley area. Listen, whether you're with us online or on campus, I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend.